One of the things, good morning, happy Father's Day, Google Daily Chart, because this is what it is, say Google Daily Chart. And Google is extremely oversold on a weekly, and it's getting more oversold as well on the daily. Now, the thing about it is, the downside move that happened at $624 over here has reached a pendulum swing. The big gap down from 576, the double top reversal, we made the lower lows right along with the NASDAQ. Remember, I did a special Google versus NASDAQ comp, Google versus NASDAQ 100. Go to StockMarketFunding.com and find it there. MMTs, I'm going to tell you something right now. The half bar is 495.75. Okay? That's the half bar of your platform. Now, I'm going to give out some other prices in our system. However, when I give those prices out, I'm going to just stop the video and I'm going to read the numbers and then I'll start it again. Because I am not going to expose to what those prices are just to the general public. It's only for you MMTs to make money. Here we are, MMTs. Half a daily bar is 495. Now I'm going to give a half delta down in the platform. No, what I'm going to say is that if it breaks down at 474.08 in our system, that would be $10.95 down. Because a half delta in our system is expanded because it's such a big sell-off of $15 on Friday's expiration that the half is right there at 474.08. And what's ironic in our SMF platform is that the upside is half delta positive up is 495.97 for Monday. And what's ironic is I gave you those numbers off of the daily here, and I'll move it back in here now, you can see the whole thing, is that your half a daily upside bar is 495.75. The thing that you need to be aware of, that from the previous daily half bar, you closed $16.6 below the previous half day bar on a daily. And that's a huge negative ratio number. That number has to contract. As it contracts, you'll see the upside price movement in Google from a daily perspective. Here is a 3-minute chart, MMTs, on Google that will trade on Monday. I have already given you on the first live training video is how we're going to trade Google and what the pricing controls are going to be on Google using a 3-minute level. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is move part of the chart over here. Let us not forget Google 3-minute. And this is how these lines is $1.37 per line. And we can see where that Friday trade was, and a nice short all the way down on the put side of the market and the short side of Google. Having said that, I'm going to move it over here and I'm going to populate some of the prices. So it's very important that we understand that on Monday morning we're going to have to clear 487.76. The next level up is going to be 490.45 we'll have to clear. And we'll have to clear that 493.22 area, which will be 3/8 up in our platform. And 493, heck, that's way up here. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16s up to get there at $1.37 per line in our pricing system. That prices it for you. Okay? So now on the other side of that, the first support level on a 3-minute level is 482.28 on Monday. Of course, that's only for Monday now. And it'll change every day now. On a 3-minute level, chart, 479.55, and down below the market there at 3/8 is going to be, and that's $8.21 to get to 476.81. That's support level 3. So support level 1, 482.28, 479.52, and 476.71 is where we would be looking at, which is about 10 pennies difference to see if it holds 10 pennies higher than 81 cents. Support 1, 2, and 3 down. So resistance 1, 2, and 3 up to 493.23 is resistance 3. Resistance 2 will be at 490.45. It clears 45 and gets past 49 cents. You're okay. 487.76. You got to get past 70 pennies on that intraday level, and that's resistance 1, 2, and 3. Support 1, 2, and 3 levels on Google. Once again, I will tell you that in your platform is that short-term rallies are put in. Google is definitely ripe for one. We've expanded to $1.37 per teeny line. That is huge. And the only time that we see this kind of number in our system is when we're getting at bottoms and that we're deeply oversold, and that the last part of the fear and the valuation of Google will come into play. Once again, how do I trade Google? How do I get the call contracts? Where do you understand the difference between inflated calls and deflated calls? We kind of looked at some of them in the video. Here is a call contract, the 490 put. This one is the put. It's definitely inflated. It's come off the bottoms. You could have bought these cheap, made a big move up here to $20 when Google was correcting. But then again, when you take a look at this next chart, that's a daily chart on Google. But let's take a look at where the 490 or the $500 call that I have up here is deflated, because it is. And the thing about it, MMTs, I can always go more deflated, okay? And that the 490 call for July, that is that we're down here at $15.10 and they were $45. They've lost $30 in value. Now, you already know off of this video on how you're going to trade and make money on it. I'm not going to go into that part. But for the sake of it's Father's Day and other MMTs weren't here, I just want them to see the difference between an inflated put and a deflated call. And during the trading week, you'll be getting live entries and exits, and we'll talk about that there. Welcome to the Google Trade MMT.